Poker Fraud says, finally, 100% confirmation on Fable. What do you guys want to see from this game? I would like to see something on the scale of Zelda Breath of the Wild and a complete reboot of the story, if not a new story altogether. Jordan Man, give me thoughts. What do you want to see from Fable?
I think it'll be a new story altogether. I mean, with Fable, you could just say, 1,000 years later, and here we are, right? And they can make up whatever they want, right? The only staple to Fable that I think they'll probably do, because they actually talked about it in the trailer, is heroes and villains, right? The fact that you can go through the campaign and be a hero, or you can choose to be a villain and grow, and have fun and stuff like that, right? But I think I don't know if it's gonna be like an MMO style. I wouldn't be disappointed if it was like co-op, like number 2, with the Albion orbs and stuff like that, just because those were hilarious to see float around, which you could turn off, by the way, if you don't want to see them floating around. But I think Fable, I think they'll focus on a single-player story experience, like the other Fables did. I think this one might be like a full traditional open world in the respect that the old Fable open worlds, it was kind of open world within sections, like Guild Wars, right?
Sure.
You'd load into a section, and that section was open to you, and then so on and so forth, right? I think this one might be like a full-on open world, which I think fits Fable perfectly, right? I think they're going to stick to the heroes and villains, which they always do, because that's just Fable. Obviously, it's going to have its whimsical humor, like
we saw
a
that,
frog eating a fairy, right? All that stuff. But when it comes to the co-op stuff, that's where I don't know if they're going to do a little bit of co-op like they did with Fable 2, or if they're going to, stick to kind of a single-player thing. I think I don't know.
Would you
I feel like
rather see co-op or not?
Co-op was fun if it's real co-op. You know what I mean? The fake co-op we talked about. If it's co-op, like for example, if you and Mark jump into my world and we all progress together, that's fun. If you guys jump into my world and then take nothing back, you know what I mean?
And then you still have to redo everything you just
all
did.
the missions, right? I understand, like, if I'm further ahead of you, then we jump into your world and then we catch up, right? But you're still progressing, you know what I mean? But anyway, so I think they might go the route of Fable 2, where there will be some co-op element. How in-depth it is, I don't know. But, I mean, it's hard to say, because with Fable, I think you can get away with a single-player story and just be fine. I mean, traditionally, it was a single-player story. Even the co-op in Fable 2, it was there, and you can have fun with your friends, but it was single-player, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm excited for it. I mean, it can't be any worse than Fable 3.
You always got to get that jab in there, don't you, man? You always got to get that jab in there. A great question, Poker Fraud. Thank you very much for writing in.
Can I give my answer?
Go
It'll
ahead.
be
What do you
shorter than his,
Okay, go
because
ahead.
he hit a lot of talking points that I like. No, I just want like a solid RPG where there are secrets in the game, and then I can get legendary weapons like the other Fables. I loved finding like that bow that's hidden behind that monster door.
Yeah, Stonewall people.
Yeah, the Stonewall people. I love that, and it's just like the traditional classic RPG. And Fable had its own charm.
And kicking chickens.
And yeah, you can kick chickens. I remember
First time you kicked a chicken?
I remember how unique of an idea it was for the first time to have morality change your character in a game. Whether it's like if you want to be a good character or a bad character, they let you do it, and there's consequences of doing that. And they changed your facial expressions. Like if you went bad, you started to have these scars,
horns.
You started to get horns, bags under your eyes. And I thought that I think that was the first game that I was ever introduced to where they added like a good, bad morality system that changed how people treated you, changed how you looked. And I thought that was really interesting to introduce to it in a game.
And you could get married and have babies.
Correct, yes.
Like,
you'd have to find the rings, right?
Yeah. You have to like, she's into me. Okay, let me get her.
She's into me.
She's into me. I think she wants it.
You can buy a house. That was more so in Fable 2, right? But
No, but like the traditional RPG, figure out puzzles, find badass weapons, meet interesting characters, do the quests, and have that Fable charm. I mean, that's why we love Fable.
Yeah.
So that's what I want.
Great question. Thank you very much, Poker Fraud, for writing in.